Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ollie here from CryptoVest.com. It is the 10th of December today, and we're going to be looking at Tron trading against Bitcoin over one-day candles. It's recently re-entered back into the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market capital. It's kicked Cardano out into 11th position. Although Tron isn't particularly performing well at the moment, it's down at around 2.5% against US dollar and down at around 1.36% against BTC. So it's not outperforming the market, it's not underperforming, it's kind of in line with a lot of other cryptocurrencies in the top 10 right now, particularly as Bitcoin is sort of fraternizing around that $3,500 level. It's not showing any clear sign of which way it's heading at the moment, and so a lot of altcoins are kind of in this sort of limbo stage where there's just not a lot of bullish traders in the market. Nobody's willing to gamble on which way the market's going. There's a lot of promising things coming out, particularly in Q1, that are lining up that could give people a lot of things to be bullish about, but at the moment everyone's still quite uncertain, particularly after that Bitcoin hashing war crash. It's knocked a lot of confidence. In the news recently for Tron, there's a bit of a running joke, particularly in some communities, that Tron like to make announcements out of announcements, but they have recently integrated a decentralized exchange into their Tron wallet, and the 28 super representatives, I think, have recently approved Proposal 7, which aims to increase DApp activity by 500%, and that's quite a key thing because very recently CEO of Tron, Justin Sun, has sort of teed off against Vitalik Buterin. Them two have a bit of an ongoing feud, and has said that Ethereum led the 2017 crypto rally based on this sort of hype and speculation that they were going to create all these dApps, and they haven't really delivered on that. And so Tron is looking to replace Ethereum as the sort of dApp and that sort of place for decentralized applications, and they're looking at having like 2 million transactions per second. They've got all these sort of grand schemes, and so there's like a bit of sort of back and forth fighting between the two camps over who is the sort of leading dApp developer. So that's kind of something that's going on in the background. Interestingly, Tron wasn't included in Coinbase's most recent list of cryptocurrencies that it's looking to list on its exchange platform. They had a whole bunch, like 30 cryptocurrencies that the exchange is looking to add now, and Tron was not included. So it might be a good thing, especially after Zcash had that crash after it was listed on Coinbase Bro, so it didn't actually do anything for it in terms of price. So it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depends how you look at it. Diving into the actual technical analysis, you can see at a glance on the one-day candles that Tron has been kind of consolidating inside this pennant pattern that's sort of been developing more recently since the 6th of October, but if you look back, it's kind of been traveling sideways since all the way back in August. We've got this sort of main range here, which is a sort of first sort of light green area between the 390 sats mark, and then there's lower support at 300 sats mark. The 300 sats seems to be a strong foundational support at the moment. There is a slightly lower support region below from 300 sats to sort of 285 sats, which has caught the sort of lower lows here, particularly this sort of uptrending support area of this sort of pennant shape. It caught the low at September 12th, and now you can see we're consolidating inside this pennant. This is actually a bearish pattern. Usually anything that enters a pennant pattern from the top consolidates inside the pennant and then actually breaks bearish, so it continues down. Anything that enters a pennant from the bottom consolidates and continues up. So at a glance, this is a bearish continuation pattern, unless we see it break through this downtrending resistance, potentially hit this first resistance and then throw back onto it before going on. So we usually see throwbacks happen if it's a reversal pennant. So we'll keep an eye out for that, particularly as Tron is actually sort of oscillating within the upper range here. We're right close. We've already recently failed to test this downtrending resistance in the last couple of days, so we're at this sort of brief correction moment. As you can see, over the one-day candles, it's actually favoring a continuation. We can see on the Chaikin Money Flow indicator there's been a gradual increase in buying pressure sort of since the end of October, so it's a fairly promising sign here. And you can see, particularly on the RSI, very recently there's been also a strong increase in buying momentum as we're approaching the overbought region above. However, over 4-hour candles, you can see there has been a strong correction at this sort of overlapping area. You can see we had the sort of upper range resistance, this sort of lateral resistance of 390 sats, coupled with the downtrending resistance. This overlapping area is always going to be a difficult area to hang on to, and so it's started to crash now. So you can see that on the 4-hour, over a closer range, you can see that we're now crashing. So we've got selling pressure is increasing. The Chaikin Money Flow indicator over 4-hour candles is now below the zero line. On the RSI, we're sort of to crash into the middle of the channel. There has been a bit of a pushback as we've got a green candle appearing recently, but it's looking like we'll correct a little bit more, potentially re-establish this bottom. This is looking like a pretty key area at 370 sats here, so we may find support here before pushing on. But overall, on the 1 day, it's actually looking like we could break bullish. So it'll really depend on how we go into the rest of this week. But it's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Inside the pennant pattern, inside this range, we have a sort of interior flipping support and resistance level is quite key as well. So around 350 sats, so strong support, strong resistance going into August, and then we sort of broke above it, found support here towards the end of the month, broke through it, oscillated underneath it, and then sort of more recently found support strong along here in October, and then again at the start of this month. So we could find ourselves along here if we do break a bit further than the sort of 370 sats mark. If we find ourselves at 350, this may be a better area for bulls to recover from before testing again. But ultimately, we'll want to be checking to see if Tron can break 390 sats. That'll be a key thing. If we start closing above here, and if momentum and everything is looking promising, then we could have a reversal. If we have a look at, which is a very strong reversal trend signal, and so from here we'd like to see the sort of brief correction, but we'd like to see a third and final impulse leg, just kind of satisfy this Elliott wave thing that we've got going on right now, and break into this kind of no man's land here between here and the next sort of main bull region, which has been a very, very historically key area for Tron in the past. It's been a very, very strong resistance and support area. You can see all the way through April and as far back as February and a little bit into January. Very key area. So if we can break into that, so that's at around 437 sats and 478 sats. If we can break into that in this next uptrend, that would be a very, very positive signal. We'd like to find support here, and from here we could really do some damage, start reclaiming some of the ground that was lost over that sort of May crash that we had that sort of unraveled all the way to August. So yeah, so 390 sats seems to be the one to keep an eye out for right now. If Bitcoin can start generating some stronger returns and we start seeing it break back towards sort of 3,600, 3,700, then we may see it break this 390 sats range. And then from there, it'll just depend on sentiment and whether enough bullish traders will return to the market to really keep this thing going. So yeah, so an interesting thing, looking fairly bullish in the short term. It's going to correct a little bit more by the looks of it in the short term, but once it starts to correct and return again, we could see it break into this space above. So yeah, so let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you are bullish, bearish for Tron. And please check out the full T8 at cryptovest.com. And please, please, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys.